Thank you everyone. Today I discuss about the focus and focal length. Not definition of the focus or focal length, the some facts about focus and focal length. We know that there are two types of the two foci of the lens. One is the second focus and second one the first focus. This is the convex lens. It has two focus. It is the first focus and it is the second focus. It is the concave lens. It is the first focus and it is the second focus. First focus is indicated by f1 and the second focus is indicated by f2. Usually when we say focus, then what do you mean it? We mean it is the second focus. That means this second focus is generally indicated by the only focus. Here the focal length of the lens implies that is the second focal length. Second focal length means this will be O to f2. This means OF2 is this distance is the second focal length and it is usually known as focus. OF2 it is the second focal length, that means the usually it is the focal length. Number 2, if the curvature of the both side and the medium of the both sides of the lens is same, then the first and the second focal length are numerically equal. That means this is the curvature. This is the curvature of these two sides of the lens are equal, and the medium of the both sides of the lens are equal, then the second focal length and the first focal length numerically they are equal. For this, that means for the concave lens, this is the curvature of the first and this is the curvature of the other end or other surfaces. If these two curvatures are equal, then and the medium of this side and medium of this side are equal, then the both focal length, that means OF2 and OF1 are equal. But if the curvature are different, then the focal length of the both side will not be equal. If the mediums of the both side are not same, then the focal length will not be same. For example, if this side is filled in air and this side is filled with water, then the focal length is not equal in the both sides. Now the third point, the focal length of the lens depends on the two factors. One is the refractive index of the material of the lens relative to its surroundings. That means in which medium the lens is kept. On that factor the focal length of the lens depends on. If the lens is placed in water instead of air, its focal length increases. That means when the lens is kept in the denser medium, then the focal length increases. Here the generally we say the focal length of the lens when it is kept in air, but when it immersed into water, then what happens? Then its focal length increases. Now the radius of curvature of the surfaces of the lens, that means focal length depends on the curvature. That means this is the curvature of the lens. Thick lens, there are two types of lens, the thick lens and there is the thin lens. For the thick lens, focal length is less, but for the thin lens, the focal length is greater. That means the lens which is the thin, its focal length will be greater than the thick lens. On these two factors, that means refractive index or that is on which medium the lens is kept. Number 2 is the what is the curvature of the lens, that means it is a thick lens or it is a thin lens. Now the convex lens has a real focus while in the concave lens is the focus is virtual. For the convex lens, these two focus, that means first focus and second focus both are the real focus, because after refraction of the light actually meet on these two focus. But for the concave lens, what happens? After diffraction of light, the light does not really meet on these two focus. The refractor rays seems to diverge from these 2 points. Now the last one. If any part of the lens is covered by the black paper, then what happens? What will be the change of its focal length, or what will be the change of the image formed by the object? Image formed of the object. It says that the focal length will not be changed, and also the image formed by the lens also is not changed. If a part of the lens is covered, its focal length remains unchanged, and so that the position, size and the nature of the image formed by the lens do not change. That means the image size remains same, position is same and nature is same. That means it may be real or inverted or virtual, like that. And also, but intensity of the image decreases. Why the intensity decreases? Because of the amount of light entering to the lens decreases, because its one part is covered. These are the facts about the focus and the focal length. Thank you.